Welcome to the Magic City. We are here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and now, for the first time, Formula One. With great opportunities for wheel-to-wheel battles featuring 19 corners, 3.36 miles long, and expected average speeds of 138 miles per hour, the Miami International Autodrome will be sure to create lots of chances to overtake.
Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to another video today with our first look and our first gameplay of Miami on F1 22. I hope you enjoyed the hot lap to start the video, and now we have a 5-lap race as Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes to kick ourselves off some gameplay. So during the course of this race I will be talking through well, obviously the race itself, but just talking about the track features, some of the key sectors that you need to get right. You're going to be quite surprised, I think, towards the final sector with how kind of crazy it can get. So yeah, kicking off this race now with this first sector. It's actually quite high speed. You start off quite slow with a sort of triple corner, right, left, right, with the speed sort of increasing as you go. It's all very traction focused, but then you get to quite high speed section towards the end of sector 1. And then you have this long straightaway with the DRS activation line we've just passed there, which will probably provide some overtaking opportunities as we actually have Esteban Ocon, speaking perfect timing, going up the inside of us into what will probably be quite a popular dive bomb zone, because it's quite hard to hold it around the outside when the car on the inside runs it in deep. But now the final sort of the middle to final section of the lap, look how tight this is. This chicane is going to be one of the hardest parts, if not the hardest part, to get right around this Miami street circuit. It's extremely easy to get yourself beached over those curbs and not get the turn in and transition on the exits that you need, because if you lose speed in one of those corners, it affects the next one, and then the one after that. It's really important to get the exits set up really well through that sort of final section. So yeah, heading into turn 1, braking just as the sort of curve begins, and then, as I was describing at the beginning, all sort of traction limited as you're trying to short shift your way up the gears, trying not to break away on the rear, as then all of a sudden it goes from rear limited to super front limited through that section right there, with the sort of left, right, left, and then a super long left. So your tyre temperatures and you're probably going to start suffering by this point, and then that exit curve there, if you run over it with the middle of the car, you actually get wheel spin, you lose drive. So you know, you've got to get all of these sections correct, corner by corner, otherwise they're going to consequently lose you time through the basically the remaining section. That's quite a lot of intertwined lap time, like combining all the corners together, you know, all sort of flows into another sort of section. So it's really important to have rhythm, confidence around here. As you can see, getting a track limit one and trying to cut over the curbs quite a lot. As you can maybe see as well, I'm using the pads as I record this video. I don't actually have my sim rig at the moment, which is a shame, because I'd really love to be playing this game on the wheel at the moment, but I'm wanting to bring you guys the content anyway, so I hope you can appreciate that. Heading on to lap 3, we have this engineer guy, whoever he is, talking to us, and yeah, we are sitting, I think it's 110% AI. I always run the maximum AI, even if I am an extremely washed up pad driver, you know, F1 Esports wheel merchant over here. But yeah, just these curbs as well, if you use too much of them or get the sort of the plank of the car onto them, they do push you out quite a lot. So it is important to, you know, just nibble them, not get too aggressive, because if you do get too aggressive and too greedy, you end up basically hurting yourself. But yeah, this final section's actually quite I mean, it is really tricky to get right. I mean, it looks it, but it's actually harder than it looks, like, even if it is quite difficult, because, you know, it's really important to get a good exit out of that corner there, because if you don't, you have the longest straight, as you can tell by the minimap, and again, perfect timing with Bottas going for an overtaking attempt, probably where we're going to see a lot of the action, and I believe Alonso goes for a monumental dive bomb. So, and that's the sort of stuff I think we're going to see this year. I mean, whether it's in league races or whether it's in career mode, my team, whatever it's going to be, that's the sort of stuff we're going to expect, you know. Like, I can already see it happening, where the final lap of our league race, we're going to have some crazy sends into, even, I mean, whether it's turn 1, the final corner, because all the battles from the final corner are going to start to stem themselves into turn 1, and there's back-to-back DRS zones there. So you know, the track does have sort of potential areas where you're going to probably see quite a lot of fighting, and that is into turn 1, the final hairpin at the end of the long straight, and then at the end of this straight that we're about to head on to now as we're driving. So I'm excited to see how it's going to pan out on the racing front, because there is some potential for yeah, quite a lot of crazy dive bombs, heavy braking zones as well at the end of all these straights, so that gives a lot of potential as well. And yeah, as for the track itself, I mean, I haven't driven it yet on a wheel, but first impressions are it's actually quite, I mean, this final sector is extremely difficult, but I like that the first sort of section, the high speed flow, that looks like a really satisfying section to really attack, try and get, you know, millimetre precision all the way through there. And I believe this track is probably going to be a track where if you hook it up every single corner, every single sector, it'll be extremely satisfying to get a rhythm round here. You know, there is some good potential to have a lot of fun around these streets, so very much looking forward to, yeah, driving around Miami a bit more as the game progresses, and as, you know, the year goes on. We've got probably plenty of league races we're going to be doing around here, and career races of course. And yeah, final lap of this 5-lapper as I'm talking over. I hope you've enjoyed everything so far in the video. I hope I've explained it well, and as you see, Magnussen actually just locks up and goes straight on at turn 1. And yeah, but this section here, as you perfectly timed, because I could just remember that as I'm doing voiceover, it's really difficult to get traction down. Trying to get the traction down through that section is extremely demanding. There's a good mixture, as you can see, another snap, so we're going to lose more positions, but there is quite a mixture on this track of supremely rear limited section, especially on the traction, the sort of turn 1, 2 and 3, the final sort of section where the slow speed chicane is, but then also the high speed stuff where it's a lot more front limited, so the car does get quite a lot of you know, the car does get quite a demand around this track, and it's going to be yeah, fun to try and figure out what the best way is to go quick on this game. You know, it's all so fresh, it's all new, and yeah, round the final, this little tricky section, you can see it's so easy to get bounced by the curb, so you've got to be extremely precise through there. It's so difficult to get it right on the exits, on the entries. You've just got to know how much to risk, how much to attack each bit without sacrificing the other. It's a real challenge, so I'm extremely excited to keep trying it, and to try it on a wheel when I get a rig. And yeah, and then Bottas just locking up again, lovely switchback into the hairpin, and that is our first gameplay of Miami on F1 2022 done. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like down below and comment what your thoughts are on your first impressions of this track, obviously being the new track on this game. So, you know, let me know what your thoughts are. If you're excited to try it out, if you're excited to do career races around here, league races, just let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, stay tuned for more content coming in the future. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Take care, love you all, ciao.